You've tuned in to the Pokémon Scramble. We're here in Losers Bracket Round 2, where we will see LiquidKourage versus Murderbear, Sage versus Ariachiba, Dutch versus Tauve, and xDropDeadz versus FadedOasis. Let's get to our first battle for survival, Courage versus Murderbear. Courage's team got in its own way last round as some poison prevented sleep from happening that meant Darkrai was unable to use Bad Dreams. In fact, that ability has not triggered yet this tournament. Parasect's additional bulk allowed it to take some hits, but it wasn't enough to overcome Courage's previous opponent. Murderbear managed to get value out of Unknown in the previous round, a sentence I never thought I would say, and evolved Abra into Kadabra. Kadabra is a middle stage evolution, but if Murderbear can get another win under her belt, can turn into a mega evolving Alakazam, so Murderbear's chances go up dramatically if she can weather the storm against Courage. I think Courage's chances rest on using Darkrai properly, getting some sleeps in before Darkrai comes out, or starting Darkrai out with a Hypnosis, not on a Pokemon with another status condition. If that can happen, I think Courage has a chance in this battle, but if Darkrai doesn't get value, I think Courage's chances are very low, as the Dialga, Excadrill, and Ceruledge on the other side of the field will all look to take kills quickly. Now begins LiquidKourage versus Murderbear. Murderbear starts off with Dialga, and LiquidKourage with Darkrai. It uses Hypnosis immediately, that's what I was asking for. Dialga's asleep, and the Bad Dreams begin to start. Hex also deals more damage to a Pokemon with a status effect, and Dialga stays asleep, and a Dark Pulse will kill. Darkrai just killed the Dialga. This is what LiquidKourage needs to do. Dark Pulse hits Excadrill, which is going to Rapid Spin, boosting its speed. Will that make it faster than Darkrai now? It will. Iron Head brings Darkrai to the red and flinches it, so Murderbear, using some hacks of her own, now pulls out a Swords Dance, but that's dangerous as a Hypnosis lands and Bad Dreams start to tick away at Excadrill as well. This is where Darkrai thrives, now has taken down 2. Murderbear in a little bit of trouble here as Dark Pulse is going to kill the Ceruledge. Darkrai definitely getting value here as it's soloing most of the team. Esper going to flash the Darkrai to reduce its accuracy, but Dark Pulse is going to kill as well. Darkrai taking down 4 on its own before finally swapping out. Kadabra going to blow up the Ninjask, taking Murderbear's first kill as Darkrai comes back in. And a Hypnosis lands on the Kadabra. Bad Dreams going to trigger again, and Hypnosis going to miss. Darkrai's a Dark type, so it's immune to Psychic attacks. Hypnosis misses, and Dazzling Gleam is going to kill. Overquill comes in, reducing Kadabra's attack, but it's a special attacker, so that's not a problem. Overquill. But a Focus Sash will keep Kadabra alive. Barb Barrage will be able to kill the Kadabra, bringing Murderbear down to just Unknown. Unknown is going to get crunched by Overquill, and Courage gets that value out of Darkrai and manages to take this victory. Murderbear is going to be defeated and eliminated. Something that I didn't fully understand as it was going on, Darkrai's Bad Dreams triggered on Kadabra, but this Kadabra has Magic Guard, which prevents damage from any sources other than direct sources. So the ability of Bad Dreams isn't able to take life away even from a sleeping Kadabra. So that's, if I sounded confused in the middle of the battle for a moment, that's where that came from. Ultimately, Darkrai taking out Dialga immediately, putting it to sleep and killing it before it ever got a chance to move, killing the Excadrill before it could kill anything, killing the Ceruledge as well, meant that Murderbear's team was well on the back foot before it even got going. Courage, a solid victory here, adding yet another evolution to their team, going to make them even more frightening. If she can continue to use Darkrai this effectively, that could be scary for every other team in the tournament. Our next battle is between Sage and Ariachiba. In Sage's last outing, he didn't use his defensive Pokemon particularly effectively, trying to use substitutes when the opposing Pokemon were enough to take the substitute out immediately, and didn't get quite enough boosts from Moody for his Scovillain to take over the battle. In Ariachiba's last battle, her female version of Pyroar took over with some critical hits. She has selected female Pyroar again, and she's also selected Basculegion female. That's a permanent choice. That's not something that's going to swap from match to match. Basculegion female is a heavy special attacker instead of a physical attacker, which Ariachiba's team badly needed. I would say Machamp is a Pokemon to watch in this battle, as fighting type moves are a great risk to most of Sage's team. Let's watch Sage versus Ariachiba. Ariachiba starts out with Pyroar, Sage with Go-Goat. That's not a good match for Sage, so he's going to swap into Scovillain. Overheat is going to deal 91% to Scovillain, but Moody is going to boost its special defense sharply. Another Overheat is going to be enough to kill despite Pyroar's reduced special attack, and Cloyster is Sage's next opportunity. Basculegion comes out, and Cloyster is going to Shell Smash. White Herb is going to clear the defense reductions. Let's see if it stays in. No! Sage once again swaps and clears off the benefit. A critical hit Shadow Ball is going to reduce Go-Goat's special defense as well, but Ariachiba going to swap off, as is Sage. Pyroar now versus Cloyster. Now versus Lopunny. Flamethrower going to hit Lopunny for 3/4 of its health as it evolves to Mega Lopunny. Gets in a quick attack, but it is going to be burned up by another Flamethrower. Sage in some trouble here. Diggersby was Sage's key victor in his first matchup. Ho-Oh is going to take 2 attacks pretty effectively and drop a Sacred Fire, bringing Diggersby down to 18% and burning it. That's going to reduce its damage output significantly. Return is going to be immune because a Ghost type can't be hit by a normal type. Diggersby uses it again, and Basculegion going to take advantage by using Agility as Diggersby burns out. Basculegion now incredibly fast, but Ariachiba going to also waste some boosts as Sage gets a substitute in on a good turn. Sacred Fire going to be blocked by that substitute as Go-Goat just uses another substitute. Not ideal here, but we do what we can. Sacred Fire going to take another substitute down as Go-Goat uses it one more time. Leftovers bringing it back to 9%. Go-Goat's going to have to use something else this turn. It uses Surf, which isn't something that all grass types have, but it's not going to deal enough damage to kill. We are going to see a swap into the Luxray as Leftovers keep on healing the Go-Goat and it deals some damage there, but Facade is going to finish off Go-Goat. Sage now down to Cloyster and Zigzagoon Galar. Basculegion going to come in on that Icicle Spear. That's a good choice as it resists the damage. Skill Link is going to make sure that it hits 5 times, and one of those is a crit, still at 2/3 health. Rock Blast going to be a bit more effective, also benefiting from the Skill Link. You're going to need some crits to kill though, and it won't happen. Shadow Ball, Cloyster's special defense, not such a much, so it's going to go down. Galarian Zigzagoon goes Ice, but Basculegion... And that's going to kill Galarian Zigzagoon, and it's going to kill Sage's continued participation in the tournament. Ariachiba loses 0 Pokemon and defeats Sage. Quite a performance from this fully evolved team. Not really sure what to say. Sage made some unfortunate decisions in terms of swapping and losing some key boosts. Swapped Scovillain in on a huge Overheat from Pyroar and just wasn't able to get things going. Ariachiba with some good swaps, bringing the Ghost type out into the normal move, and was just unassailable today. Congratulations, Ariachiba. Our third match of the day is Dutch versus Molly Tauve. Well, Dutch, here we are again. I've hyped up your team and you've managed to make your way down into the losers bracket. For your sake, I hope your Shaman Sky has gotten over its fear of using Air Slash. That's its best move, even if it has a mischance. But you're up against Molly, and Molly has faced nothing but top-tier teams thus far. I put Dutch in the top tier at the start of this tournament, but I think this is Molly's opportunity to claim that their team belongs in that tier if they can take down yet another of what I thought would be the tournament's best. Molly's team also shored up one of its weaknesses, adding a strong special attacker in Chandelure. Chandelure has gone from its previous evasion-boosting, substituting scared little fire ghost into a choice specs having 4 offensive move, special attack powerhouse that's also pretty darn fast. So let's find out if my initial hypothesis about Dutch's team was right and he continues to move on, or if I need to be putting Molly-Tauve in the conversation for top-tier teams. Molly starts out with Victory Bell, Dutch with Regieleki. Dutch starts out with but it's only going to deal 50% of Victory Bell. An unweathered Weather Ball is going to not deal too much, and a Poison Jab hits the incoming Hypno. Leech Life is going to be super effective and finish off the Hypno, healing Victory Bell to full. Now Dutch with Shaman Sky. Molly going to bring out Pelipper to bring down the rain as Shaman Sky puts up a substitute. Leftover's going to heal Shaman Sky a little as it goes for air slashes. This is how you use Shaman Sky. You're getting the flinches from the air slashes and you're already behind a substitute. That's 2 flinches thanks to Serene Grace. Shaman Sky finally doing what I hyped it up for in the start. Almost back to full and behind a substitute. Shadow Sneak is going to kill the substitute, but a Air Slash is going to bring Decidueye down to the yellow. Another Shadow Sneak and a substitute goes up. Let's see if a Shadow Sneak on its own is enough to kill. No, it was because it was already damaged. The Air Slash miss is going to be annoying, but not deadly because it's already behind a substitute. A crit Air Slash is going to kill Decidueye. As I said, this is how you're supposed to be using Shaman. Getting out on the fire type, probably a good choice. Flamethrower going to bring Purloin down to its sash, and it will have the priority thanks to Prankster. Getting a Thunder Wave onto Chandelure, it's now paralyzed, reducing its speed. Brionne comes in, a good match, water into the fire. Hyper Voice going to be resisted by Victory Bell because that's water thanks to the ability of Brionne. Poison Jab will take down the Shaman Sky. Bad swap from Dutch, or good prediction from Molly, either way. Leaf Blade going to bring Donphan down to the yellow, but Body Slam going to paralyze Victory Bell, making it so that Donphan, now faster, finishes off with a Throat Chop. Chandelure, still faster than Donphan despite being paralyzed, kills with an Energy Ball, bringing Dutch down to his last 2. Thunder Cage is going to be used on Chandelure as Energy Ball finishes off Regieleki. That's going to clear Thunder Cage, but Brionne is now Dutch's last hope. Pachirisu comes in. Hyper Voice does 75%. Will Pachirisu nuzzle? Yes, it will. Super effective and paralyze, but Hyper Voice will kill Pachirisu. Molly down to their last 2 Pokemon as well. Chandelure paralyzed, and it's fully paralyzed. Brionne will not fully paralyze and kills Chandelure. That brings it down to Brionne versus Stonejourner. Stonejourner terrestrializes fighting. Stone Edge does 74%. Hyper Voice is enough, and Dutch limps his way to a second victory on a paralyzed, nearly dead Brionne. It looks like that evolution was just enough to carry him over the line. Molly-Tauve will be eliminated, but their team not just contended with some of the top-tier teams in this tournament. Molly's team was half a turn from defeating what I consider the tournament's best team. It defeated one of the odds-on favorites, and came within an inch of defeating Dutch here. Dutch escapes with his life, but well played to Molly-Tauve. You may be eliminated, but you showed that your team could go toe-to-toe with the best of the best. Our final match of the day, and our final match of round 2, is xDropDeadz versus FadedOasis. xDropDeadz didn't get a lot of value out of his newly evolved Incineroar in his previous battle, and struggled to use his very defensively minded Cresselia effectively. On the other hand, Faded had a strong victory in his previous match, and his newly evolved Arcanine is a force to reckon with. No longer a primarily supportive Pokemon, Arcanine now sports Rockhead, meaning that Arcanine no longer takes recoil damage from its own moves. It also has some priority and still sports Stealth Rocks, so Faded's team has added a significant damage threat to his arsenal. Let's see if new community member and YouTube subscriber xDropDeadz, or my longtime friend and YouTube subscriber FadedOasis, win this battle. Faded starts off with his new Arcanine, and xDropDeadz swaps to Cresselia. A critical hit is going to bring Cresselia down to the yellow. A Flare Blitz will burn Cresselia and its Lumberry will be eaten as Cresselia uses Moonlight to restore its health to the green. Head Smash gonna bring Cresselia down, and Cresselia stuck in a loop of Moonlight again. It's trying to get itself healthy, and it's slowly outpacing the damage at this point, but if Faded lands another crit, that's going to be a problem. Calm Mind won't really help, as this is physical damage and Cresselia isn't taking the offense right now, but it will give it a little bit of boost if it ever decides to do that. Moonlight heals it almost to full as Faded continues to land Flare Blitzes and Head Smashes, but no more crits have come, and another Calm Mind happens. Faded finally decides to swap out. Cresselia now at 100% and has used 3 Calm Minds. Mantike gonna put Toxic Poison on the Cresselia. With the Lumberry already gone thanks to the burn, that's a great choice. Haze is going to take away all of the stat boost Cresselia has used. Great move from Faded. Another Toxic is going to hit the Swellow. That's actually great too, as though it will boost the Facade. It's better than the burn that the Swellow would otherwise have because it's going to kill it faster. U-turn going to be resisted by the Arcanine. As Cresselia comes back in, another Head Smash lands. Toxic Poison will start to tick away at Cresselia. Head Smash hits Cresselia and it continues to use Moonlight, healing itself up. Another Head Smash from Arcanine. Cresselia, another Moonlight. It's going to run out of those pretty soon. Another Head Smash going to bring it low, and it's finally forced to use Moonblast. Even though that's a critical hit, it's very resisted by the Arcanine, and Cresselia dies to Toxic Poison, Faded on the board with his first kill. Flare Blitz is going to make the red card come out, and Pineco going to see action for a little bit as Arcanine Hisui comes back out into a Drain Punch from Electros. Head Smash is going to kill Electros, and Hisui and Arcanine takes yet another kill. Extreme Speed, good choice from Faded there, making sure he gets the kill. Swellow going to finish off Hisui and Arcanine and bring out Muck. Faded will respond with his Beartic. Swellow comes back out as Faded swaps to Klefki. Poison gonna tick away at the Swellow. Incineroar now comes out, gonna intimidate Klefki, as Klefki gets up a Reflect and a Light Screen, but Incineroar uses Swords Dance to boost its attack. Flare Blitz gonna be super effective into Klefki. Recoil damage will hurt Incineroar. Flare Blitz going to be super effective into Pineco as well. Faded kind of wasting some of these Reflect turns. Beartic, another thing weak to fire, but xDropDeadz gonna swap to a Swellow. Immunes the flying, or immune because of flying to that ground move. It's going to kill itself using Brave Bird Recoil, and Flare Blitz will kill the Beartic. Another thing weak to fire comes out. I didn't realize how much fire weakness Faded's team had, but Grambleghast goes entirely ghost. It's going to use Poltergeist to hit the Muck. Muck going to take another Poltergeist and be killed here from Brambleghast. Faded on his last Pokemon, but xDropDeadz's Incineroar is badly hurt. Poltergeist has a mischance, but it is going to hit the Incineroar. It's now Quaxley versus Brambleghast. Water versus Ghost. Aqua Jet does about a quarter, exactly a quarter, but Brambleghast gonna miss a Power Whip. Another Aqua Jet does another quarter. Power Whip is going to take him down to the sash on the Quaxley, and Shadow Sneak, priority move, is going to be enough to get Faded the win. That match was much closer than I thought it was going to be at the outset, as xDropDeadz got a lot of value out of his Incineroar. The Swords Dance and the fire moves into several things that were weak to it did a very good job there. I did not realize that Faded's team had 4 Pokemon that were weak to fire until this moment, but Faded manages to overcome that and clutch out a victory thanks to Brambleghast. Thanks again for participating through the community function of YouTube, xDropDeadz. I hope you participate in future tournaments when I announce them. So your winners today, who have scratched and clawed for their lives here in the losers bracket: LiquidKourage, Ariachiba, Dutch, and FadedOasis. Those of you who still have evolution potential left will get another boost to your team as you move on to losers bracket round 3. Next time on the Pokemon Scramble, Winners Round 3, featuring Jen vs. Griff, Flarolin vs. Raptor, Callisti vs. Puniday, and Bandit vs. Heller. The hits just keep on coming in the Pokemon Scramble.